Alrighty, today I'll be presenting on FairFare. My name is Leo Espinal, and this is for the METCS 683 Mobile Application Development course. Alright, so this semester, I worked on building the app called FairFare. So my motivation behind building this application was that a lot of people are using ride-sharing services more and more on a daily basis, along with other sources of public transportation, but there aren't many good mobile applications that can actually show you your options in a centralized location. And having different options in front of you might allow you to potentially see if you could find a cheaper alternative. And there's a convenience factor there, since you would only need to look in one place. Um, so what is FairFare? So FairFare is a mobile application that will allow users to see price estimates from Uber and Lyft ride-sharing services prior to deciding which service they would like to book a ride with. Um, and so this semester, I targeted to just have integration with Uber and Lyft. However, I would like to expand this further beyond the scope of this semester. So some of the features, I have kind of future goal features that I didn't quite get to this semester, and some achievements that I did have this semester. So um, I'll start with the achievements. So as of right now, via the application, a user can create their own account and they can link their Uber and Lyft accounts to it. And the linking really is just authentication. So having the user being able to, for example, with Uber, they can do the single sign-on process where at the click of a button, it'll request Uber to basically authenticate the user and say, allow FairFare to access um, the information on your Uber account, which I'll demonstrate later. Um, a user can log into the app or sign up for their account using their Google login. That was another thing that I wanted to target and have kind of some Google login API integration. Um, and a user can search for the location that they would like to go to and see those points uh, on the built-in Google Maps. So in this app, I have the built-in Google Maps, and I also use the Google Places API, which will allow you to search for locations and kind of get that auto complete result back. Um, a user can also see their ride options from Uber and Lyft, along with the price estimates at the click of a button. Um, and so some of the future goals that I'd like to get to, most importantly, first thing would be is that a user would be able to click on one of the options. Whoop, excuse me. A user would be able to click on one of the options to get more information about it, and they'd be able to book the ride, at the click of a button natively in the Uber or Lyft app. And another thing that I would like to get to, if I can hit that first goal, would be to just have the user be able to book the ride in FairFare without having to leave it at all. So another thing that I would like to have is to have kind of like a settings activity where the user can access their account settings and log out if they desired, um, and have the user to, like I mentioned before, be able to expand the application so it could include other services like Fasten, for example, so they could have more options to choose from. And the last goal, which I think is pretty important, is to kind of refine the UI and make use of material design. So at the beginning of the semester, I came up with some sketches, and so the application doesn't quite look like that right now, since I wanted to focus on the core functionality, and that took me a bit longer than I thought it would this past semester. So that's something that I would like to improve upon. And so now it's time for a demo. Let me go over here. Not sure what that is. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to run um, the installation of the application APK on Android Studio and have that install on my device. So I just want to take you through the flow from beginning to end. Um, and I will mention something in the beginning, in the middle, um, that basically once you go through the sign up process, you're already authenticated as a user. So every time you load up FairFare, you'll just go right to the Google Maps activity um, without having to go through that login process. So here we have kind of like the login activity. And so here, if a user already has created an account, they can just sign in. But for purposes of, this demonstration, um, I'm just gonna sign up with as a new user. So you can see what that looks like. So when you sign up, you could choose a display name. So I'm just gonna put in my name, and then I'm gonna just create a fake email account and click the next button. So here I have the option to link the accounts. So when I click link Uber account, it's going to bring me to Uber, and it's going to say, FairFare would like to access the following data about your Uber account. And so as a user, I have the option I could deny that if I'm not comfortable with it, or I can click allow. And so when you click allow, it brings you back to FairFare. And then with Lyft, you just click the button there too. And so when you click on finish, it's going to ask you for your device's location. So as a user, you have the option to, not allow FairFare to do that, but it would make the app pretty useless if you don't. So I'm going to click allow. And so it's going to take a little bit, but it should actually find, so my current location. So this is where I'm currently located. And so let's say if I started to type in some random address, so it'll start to pick up kind of, what's around me right now. So let's say if I were to click, something happened here. Sorry about that. 1 second. So if I were to, pick a random address, so it'll actually drop another pin on the map, kind of show you a line between the 2 points. And so when you click on get ride estimates, it's gonna gather that for you here. And so here you can see what the local ride options are. So in order to get there, I have a bunch of different options via Uber and Lyft. And one of the things that are pretty interesting to see is the differences in price and actually the estimated time of arrival. So it looks like Lyft tends to have somewhat lower rates, or a range of rates that are cheaper than what you see with Uber. And they seem to get you there just a little bit faster. So, so this is what I was able to achieve this semester. And so, like I said, one of the things that I'd like to do and enhance this application upon is let's say if I were to click one of these options, if I clicked, let's say for an Uber pool, is to see kind of more information about the Uber um, pool, and then be able to click on, let's say, the Lyft, rides button that Lyft actually provides you with, or the Uber rides button that Uber provides you with as well, and be able to basically pass in all the information that it collected from FairFare right into the Uber app. So all you'd have to do is just pay for the ride if that's the one that you selected. Um, so yeah, so this is FairFare. If you wanted to go back and look for a different location, you could just go back here, and let's say I select another path here to go to another location, and I get estimates, and they look pretty similar since it's the same location. Let me try, let's say if I were to go a little further, so you can see, what those estimates look like here. So this is a pretty significant different distance, so I could expect the rates to be pretty high. let's see. Yeah, so here you could see the rates go up pretty significantly. So an Uber pool cost me, you know, at a minimum $49. But it looks like the Lyft line will be 45. So you save a couple dollars there, and the Lyft line will get you there in 41 minutes. The Uber pool will get you there in 46 minutes. So it's just nice to be able to see what the options are, and you know, adding other services in here. You can also see how those other ones compare to the two big ones that most people use. All right, well, that's all I had uh, for this application. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. And thank you for watching.